Though it's in Osaka City, the nearest station is an hour's walk away, and some areas lack rail access. The only shopping street here is empty, with almost no stores remaining. It's a bleak situation. Also, there has been a plan to bring in a railway for over 50 years, but due to profitability concerns, the outlook is quite severe, and there is no prospect of it being realized. This time, I'll be featuring a town called Tsurumachi in Taisho Ward, Osaka City. In this video, I'll cover Tsurumachi's history, present, and future. I'll do it anywhere in Daimatsu. The exploration team will continue to create many videos for everyone to enjoy, so please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Alright, so I'm heading to Tsurumachi in Taisho Ward, Osaka City. Right now I'm driving the car. This place is nicknamed Beta Bumi Zaka of Naniwa, referring to the Namihaya Bridge. The bridge links Osaka Port, home to Kaiyukan Aquarium, with Tsurumachi in Taisho Ward, which I'm visiting. It's a steep slope, and driving a small car over it makes a loud noise. It used to be a toll road when it was first completed, but in 2014, it was opened to the public for free. You can also cross it on foot or by bike. I cross this bridge on foot or by bicycle. I don't have much courage or even stamina, so I really admire everyone who does. I was watching from my car. Tsurumachi, on Osaka City's west side, was reclaimed from the sea between 1897 and 1928. It's a reclaimed area spanning Tsurumachi 1 chom to 5 chom. They exist. As I mentioned at the beginning, it takes about an hour on foot to the nearest station. If you absolutely have to walk to the nearest station, you have to cross this Namihaya Bridge and go all the way to Osaka Metro Chuo Line's Osaka Port Station. That's what you have to do in the first place. Taisho Ward itself is served by the Japan Railways Loop Line and the Osaka Metro Nagahori Tsurumi Ryokuchi Line. There's only Taisho Station, even within Taisho Ward. The place that's by far the farthest from the station is Tsurumi, which we'll be featuring in this video. It's an area called Meichi. After crossing the long Namihaya Bridge, the first place you come down to is Tsurumachi 2 chome. Though I mentioned it was reclaimed from the 30th year of Meiji to the 3rd year of Showa, this area was actually reclaimed much later, between 1985 and 2000. It was reclaimed. Currently, 2 large furniture stores, Ikea Tsuruhama and Tokyo Interior, stand here, making it an area visited by quite a lot of people. On holidays, there are even light traffic jams. By the way, I'm on the Tokyo Interior side. That being said, after finishing all the filming in Kakumachi, I rushed to Ikea before it closed, bought this ceiling light, and installed it right away. It's cute, isn't it? I picked it. You could say things are going smoothly now, but Osaka City named it the Tsuruhama reclaimed land and spent 34 billion yen developing it. It's land. By the way, Tsuruhama was once used in this area before. It was a place name that used to be used here. That's right. Originally, it was reclaimed as a logistics base. But the cargo volume at Osaka Port drastically decreased, and they decided they didn't need a logistics base after all. Along with that, they considered attracting universities and research institutions, or building attractions like botanical gardens. Various ideas were discussed. Osaka City's worsening finances left the land vacant for years. It was left untouched for a long time, so it was decided to sell the land to the private sector, and a large home center was set to open. However, there was strong opposition from the local shopping district and others, saying that if a large store came, the town would die. As a result, they gave up on opening the store. And then, in 2008, the large furniture store IKEA Tsurumachi opened. Tokyo Interior opened much later, in 2017. If you're wondering, home centers aren't allowed, but furniture stores are, I feel the same way. Or maybe it's because IKEA is a Swedish company, so they open without caring about what the locals think. There are no articles on this topic after searching, so it's unwise to speak based only on speculation. I think it's best not to discuss it. So, what about other places? Most of the other places are municipal housing complexes, single-family homes, and factories. Although some of the municipal housing complexes are being demolished and rebuilt, there are still complexes that are over 50 years old, so they have quite a bit of history. It pleasantly feels like time stopped in the Showa era. You can really sense time standing still here, along with a classic Showa era vibe. But Tsuru blends right into the town. There's a public bathhouse called Machiu. That's nice, but few people are around. Since it's a weekday, it's only natural, but even on weekends, the only thing that increases is the number of cars heading to IKEA and Tokyo Interior. And around here, there aren't many people walking around. In 1995, over 10,000 people and 4,000 households lived here. That's right, but as of 2019, there were about 3,800 households and around 7,000 people. I'd like to point out that while household numbers haven't dropped much, the population size has been decreasing drastically. Young people, whether they're from Osaka City or not, leave this inconveniently located place for more urban areas, and only the elderly are left behind. The vitality of the town is rapidly being lost. What currently symbolizes Tsurumachi is the only one in the Tsurumachi area. Tsurumachi Shopping Street is the area's only shopping street. It's a shopping street about 200 meters long. This is the entrance. There's no arcade or anything. It's simple, but during certain hours, cars are not allowed to pass through. And at those times, it's strictly enforced. They strictly enforce it. These lights are cute. All right, let's start walking. But it's extremely desolate and cold out here. Maybe less than half of the stores are open. Just to add, there were also some stores that were closed because it was their day off when we filmed. So it's not that all of them are closed. The place with this enclosure used to have an apartment built in 1968 and a supermarket's approach. It seems that many people use the supermarket, but the apartment's aging. Both were demolished due to deterioration. By the way, as you move away from the shopping street, before this Opera was demolished, Opera had already opened by taking over another building that used to be a supermarket. Currently, it is the only supermarket in the Tsurumachi area. If this place closes, you'll need to bike 10 minutes to a supermarket. So I really hope it doesn't go out of business. Now then, Tsurumachi Shopping Street has for the past 10 to 15 years seemed to have rapidly declined. If you look at the street view from about 10 years ago, it was still functioning as a shopping street. In the first place, it's not a very large shopping street either. Even if one store closes, it stands out. Gradually, shops started closing down, and then Apuro closed too. Even the open shops have fewer customers. You don't see customers, and it feels tough. Despite the declining population, 7,000 people still live here. The town's only shopping street is like this, but many elderly residents have low motivation to shop. It's that kind of area, so this always happens. Tsurumachi. Central Park is located just past the shopping street. Here too, there aren't any people here. In fact, even the grass hasn't been cut. Maybe it's to teach children the importance of weeding. Maybe they're intentionally leaving it like this. I don't really know though, since there are absolutely no people here, as you might have guessed. Customers from IKEA or Tokyo Interior don't come here. The supermarket's even the professionals don't stop by on their way home. It's not that no one wants to visit. Even if they do, they can't. In the first place, since it's not designed for car use, there isn't even a parking lot. There are 2 coin-operated parking lots in the Tsurumachi area, so you can park there and walk, but I doubt anyone would. Both the shopping street and the supermarket targeted local residents, and since the businesses were sustained by locals alone, there was no need for parking lots. However, due to population decline and aging, businesses could no longer be sustained. That's true across Japan, so it's not just Tsurumachi's problem. By the way, it is said that they opposed the construction of the home center. The real name of the shopping street was mentioned in the article, but it wasn't this shopping street. So, Tsurumachi Shopping Street and the home center. I'm not sure if they opposed building the home center. Usually people oppose it when a big store comes to town. I believe Tsurumachi was listed among the towns said to be dying. But whether a home center is built or not, whether IKEA is built or not, whether it's built or not, I feel like this outcome was unavoidable until 1967 streetcars ran here. Now, when I drive, the place where I'm driving now actually used to have train tracks laid down. Considering how few cars there are, the road is actually pretty wide. Knowing train tracks were once here, it makes sense the road is so wide. Currently, buses are the only public transportation. When you hear it's just buses, it feels a bit lacking. It tends to feel inconvenient, but there are actually a lot of buses. Well, Taisho Station. Taisho Station is 25 minutes away, Namba 45 minutes, and Umeda an hour. Getting around is easy. Even though it's a place with such inconvenient transportation, when I go back to my parents' house, I feel as comfortable as if I were coming home to my parents' house. Walking around here really puts me at ease. Having a car makes it convenient, so I prefer this calmness to city life. In this atmosphere, you truly sense time slowing down. I prefer places like that. I even think I'd like to live there. I'm in the minority, and people say Tsurumachi district will keep declining. It's expected, and the population is also expected to keep decreasing. It's not that there aren't any plans for a railway extension. Before the opening of the Nagahori-Tsurumi-Ryokuchi line, since 1970 there have been plans to extend it from Taisho to Tsurumachi, officially abandoned. There hasn't been an official announcement about it, but I think it's 99% impossible to realize. In fact, in 2014, a survey was conducted regarding the extension. However, building a railway is more cost-effective. Would still be difficult, and studies show the investment wouldn't be recovered even after 40 years. For that reason, it has remained in the planning stage for many years. During that time, city-run subway was privatized. I think it's a tough situation. When you cross the Namihaya bridge from the Osaka port side, there's a vast vacant lot on the left just before you get off. This is where the Nagahori-Tsurumi-Ryokuchi lines, Tsurumi. When the line was extended to Machi, this place was planned to be used as a train depot. However, in 2020, it was leased by Osaka City under the name of Tsuruhama District Town Development. One document included a train depot construction budget estimate. The site, which was originally planned for the depot, had been designated as a commercial and business exchange zone. It also says something like, "We need to secure land for the railway extension just in case." So it seems like the city of Osaka hasn't given up on the future railway extension. But when is that future, and where will they secure the depot? Those questions remain. Of course, regarding the extension, there are plans to have intermediate stations between Teisho and Tsurumachi. Therefore, it's not just a problem for Tsurumachi, but an issue for the entire Taisho ward. However, the population of Taisho ward peaked in the 1960s. Streetcars. The peak was when streetcars operated, and the population has declined since. When I worked at Osaka Metro, if I were the president, I don't think I would have the courage to go ahead with the extension. All I can do is feature it in my videos. But if anyone has even a little interest in these kinds of cityscapes, please stop by on your way back from IKEA or Tokyo Interior. But I really hope you'll stop by the Tsurumachi shopping street. There's a bakery called Pam Pam Bakery. It gets great reviews. I wanted to buy some bread out of curiosity, but it was closed that day. So sad. Nationwide, population decline, aging, and building deterioration are causing these townscapes. Are gradually disappearing, but I hope they can be preserved for as long as possible. That's all for this video.